Okay, can you hear me now? Good morning. If you can hear me, please put a number 1 in chat. Oh, Lori. We're good now? Thank you, Nick. I appreciate that. You know, sometimes when you're trying to teach a boomer a new trick, this is what happens. But we're still on time. I'm not even supposed to start for 2 minutes. So I've been warming up. I haven't given away the secrets to the world. Matthew, I did go over silver. So, but I'll recap on silver. Perfect. Thank y'all so much. Thank you. Thank you. So on silver, let me go back. So on silver, I was saying, Matthew, that a monthly lower high is the more likely scenario and that the weekly has had a great move up. I'd rather be a bear up here than a bull. If you're already in a long position, I would stay in long as long as this hourly uptrend continues here. Potential hourly bull flag. 15-minute looks healthy so far. The dollar pulling back overnight due to Bank of Japan news really gave silver an opening and they're jumping through it. So just be prudent with your entries up here. It's all about location, location, location. Oh, awesome, Nick. Hi. Now let me say hello to all of my friends. Hi, thanks, Night Truck, Ricky, Terry, Sam, Black, Jessica, Keith, Mike, Kevin, Brian, Tamazon, Anthony, Dynamite, Zachary, B-Hawk, Patrick, Dan Con, Mary, Matthew, Alex Tron, Bobo, David, Lewis. So I've been up since 1 a.m. this morning having some sleeping issues with the overall illness. I feel much better though. So having some sleeping issues. So I'm a little off this morning as far as my routine, but I have taken athletic greens. I've taken my mud water, all of my vitamins, so I'm pretty juiced up for the morning and I'm ready to go. As a matter of fact, you should have visual too. As a matter of fact, this is how I feel this morning. This is one of my favorite new little videos. This little girl, that's how I feel right now. Look at her facial expressions. Okay, that's not what we do here. I rarely do that, but I just thought I'd give you a little smile because it brought a huge smile to my face when I ran across that video this morning, and I just wanted to give y'all a smile. So now I'm going to go back to Ford, and then I'll get started with indices, and I'll try to get more organized. So Ford is a potential 4-hour bear flag, but this monthly and weekly tightening pattern is beautiful. Who asked me about it? I think, was it? Yeah, Whitney. It is absolutely beautiful tightening pattern, and I think a bottom fish against 1113 is a very prudent trade setup and viable. Potential 4-hour bear flag, daily oversold, scouting a weekly higher low. I freaking love this setup for a long, but we need bulls to prove it to us. We just can't love the location, because we love the location based on historical data. So I may be getting started a little late, but it doesn't matter because we're still going over technical analysis. So here is the location based on historical data, but the location means bupkis until we get buyers showing up. We need friends with us on the trade. We can't assume because the location is good that the friends are going to show up. Like I say, we need confirmation that we actually have bulls joining us with the trade idea on a long. So it's kind of like thinking that you're pregnant, not buying the EPT test and going out and buying maternity clothes without the confirmation. We want confirmation, even if it's on really small time frames. So I like this trade idea for a potential long. And you could try against yesterday's low, but we want to see the market bounce a little more. Right now, let me give you a preview of this table. Bears are in control. I gave one check mark to Bitcoin because Bitcoin had a 4-hour higher high. I think a 4-hour higher high for sure. Was it a daily? I know Ethereum got it. No, it's a daily double top. But they got a 4-hour higher high, definitely stronger than the indices. So that was the only measurement of what I look at, component of data, that was in favor of market bulls. Bears have control of this market. So if we're going over a long setup today or a short setup today, overarching, we have to decide early on, and I'm showing you my notes. Didn't she mean it, Denise? She was all in. Just unbelievable. That little girl, I can't wait to see how she grows up. I want to follow her in her dancing process. I was a dancer, so when I was younger. Anyway, so you have to decide early on, are you going to be an aggressive bear, conservative bear, aggressive bull, or conservative bull? And we have many different positions we can take. So this morning, aggressive bulls are looking for those potential hourly higher lows due to the size of the bounce overnight. You see the size of that bounce? We gave enough room for the hourly higher low. Now the bulls have to prove it to us. Let me mute myself real quick. Okay. Confirmation would be a 15-minute trend change to the upside. I have coffee. I'm trying everything, guys. All right. Conservative bears are waiting for 15-minute overbought for potential 4-hour lower highs. If I could break down the day into the most important components, it would be this. I've been fighting this thing with everything I have because I enjoy this so much. It's so frustrating to work on this for hours and not be able to clearly communicate, but I'm going to push through. So those are the two most important points that if my voice fails me, at least my written word hasn't. This is the stance today. 4-hour lower highs are what bears are looking for, and bulls are looking for potential hourly higher lows. I'm a more comfortable bull this morning, but with a tight stop, understanding what I'm dealing with. Because this table, look at that. You're hitting the like button and I'm already feeling better. So appreciate it. Understanding what this table looks like, I realize how I'm going into the morning. It's this hourly chart that says, you know what? They have enough room for a higher low. As long as they can remain above 38.25, 38.30, they have room for a higher low. How much did we retrace here? We retraced almost 85% of that move. So I'm a more comfortable bull this morning. As a matter of fact, let's go look at it. I would like a pullback buy right here against 383235. So this would be bulls proving it, Paul, on a very short time frame, watching the volume and looking for some type of trend change. No matter what the time frame, 2, 5, 15, ensuring that I get some type of trend change. And because remember, we want to buy, if we're buying dips, we want to buy on this side of the V and not this side. And that's the difference between getting that EPT test confirmation and not getting that EPT test confirmation. All right. So I like a long here. If we could just get a pullback buy and then change that trend against 38.32, I would be looking at, and this is my new thing I'm sharing with you. I'm trying to think of something simple. And it's probably not simple because that's me in a nutshell. But I like the, let's see, it's 3838 right now. Let me post this in chat. Honey and lemon tea, I'll do that. I did that last night. This is the futures option that I like this morning. And it's basically the 3840 expiring today. That's copy and pasted from Thinkorswim. So if you're a futures trader and you trade options, you know exactly what that means. And if you're not a futures trader, you're like, what the heck? Okay, they're bouncing pretty good now. Again, I feel more comfortable being along, looking for an hourly higher low. And I'm really going out on a limb today because I recognize where all the technicals are pointing. So let's go over all of the evidence to convict the market of being a big bear. We're going to look at the evidence. You know, to put away a murderer. You don't take the trade if you don't have evidence. You don't take a murderer to trial if you don't have evidence against them. So we have lots of evidence against the bulls, and I know that, but I like the risk to reward. High probability of getting stopped out, but I like the risk to reward down here. All right, so 3 keys to the market that we went over yesterday were all lost. ES lost a daily 200 MA, NASDAQ lost the megaphone, and Apple lost 134. And an additional piece of data we didn't cover yesterday that I noticed this morning was that key 34,000 psychological resistance on the Dow. We lost that as well. We have a lot of data points to convict the market of being ridiculously bearish, okay? So I'm not going to lose sight of that, and I'm not going to try this over and over and over again. Y'all are so cute. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate all the suggestions, and I will go back and read chat, and I will implement as many as I can because I want to be here with y'all every morning because it's my love. So on ES, we're underneath the hourly EMAs, but I'm looking for that hourly higher low this morning, and I talked to you yesterday about this 50 RSI. I want to see RSI cut through that 50 like a hot knife through butter. Okay, NASDAQ is not as strong. We have enough room for a higher low, but it's not like a shoe-in. And you see how this inverse head and shoulders is a little weak because this right side, if you walked into a person that looked like this with a head and shoulders, you'd be scared to death. We'll look at ES. This is a little bit more pronounced and as it should be, a little more symmetry here. So 38.54.75 is your key resistance on ES, support 38.03. Round that off, folks. 3800 is your level of the day. 3800. I'm a bull today as long as we hold 3800. How about that for a clear statement? All right. NASDAQ, resistance 112850, support 1104.350. Bulls do have enough room for hourly higher low. It's just not as convincing as the other 3 of our Fab 4. Look how beautiful RTY is, has some symmetry for this potential hourly inverse head and shoulders. So these little patterns on these shorter time frames and the room for the higher low has me saying, I'm not throwing this out the window, but I'm gonna give it a chance. RTY resistance 1754.60, 1755.70, and support 1730.80. YM lost that 30. Excuse me, did I type? Let's see. Yeah, I typed 34. That should have been 33. That was a typo. My bad. Another typo. That should be 33,000 is what we lost on Dow. I'm going to move my notes over to the side now that we've gone over the more important points. I wanted to make sure my voice held, or at least y'all could read what I wanted to convey. So we're up here against this hourly 50 MA, but this is super healthy. Definitely stronger than the NASDAQ. So just looking at that, what does that tell y'all? That means that on pops, let me write this out. Based on the evidence, I would be looking to be an aggressive bear on QQQ names because of NQ being a laggard, an aggressive bull on non-QQQ names like the banks, which I have a Queen of the Mountain for you. So see how we're just slowly breaking things down into manageable bites? And that's what we do as traders when we're sitting down and making time to think, which is what I preach about all the time, creating space in your schedule to give yourself time to think, is we're eating this elephant one bite at a time. So we just walked up to the elephant and we started eating one piece. Okay, ES, got that. Hourly, got, okay, we're expecting 4-hour lower high. We know all that. Okay, then we just keep breaking it down into manageable components. Okay, I'm still disconnected from VIX and US 10-year. It's just not giving me data. Hang Seng was down 1.33% overnight. DAX is currently down 0.30 overnight. Bank of Japan had some news that impacted the yen and it impacted the dollar, and the market pulled back pretty hard and then is bouncing right now. Okay. With that, Bitcoin 4-hour and daily double top. Yep, Paul, that's what we do here. We do all the things. Resistance 16878, 16875. You see how we're running into this 4-hour 200 MA. We've made enough room for a higher low on the 4-hour. And this is different than ES. Do you see it? Here, here, here. We broke that level and that level. So crypto is a little laggard. That's our own little green glimmer of hope over here, the lonely one. That's it. Is Bitcoin is the hourly inverse head and shoulders on ES, and the room for the higher low plus Bitcoin. It could be our two little canaries. My husband and I were talking over dinner last night as to what I do in the morning, like what made me so bearish yesterday morning. And I'm constantly applying a lie detector test to every chart I look at. And I'm trying to find out who's telling me a lie. And this morning, Bitcoin and ES 1 hour are giving me two little hopes that maybe the bears are not in, they are in complete control, but maybe there is a chance for at least a dead cat bounce today. So I'm applying the lie detector test, and I'm looking for divergence and convergence. And so what I see is I like the more clearly risk to reward defined long this morning as a day trader. If you're a swing trader and you're in short, you're super comfortable this morning, despite everything else I'm saying. Ethereum broke the daily resistance. It was able to break this 119660, 4-hour higher high, plenty of room for a 4-hour and hourly higher low. Crypto, relative strength this morning, and I am still not ready. I'm a hesitant bull on all of these names. I guess if you wanted to trade some of these crypto related names, like MARA possibly to the long side, that could work with this crypto relative strength. It's hard for me with the current crypto situation, but based on price action overnight, this idea could work over 395 on MARA long gold. A little more water. Gold is up here struggling still at the weekly 50 MA. Gold had a great night though with that US of Japan news, pulled back, gave a lot of it back. 4-hour uptrend, hourly uptrend. Bulls are in control of this chart on shorter term time frames. This doesn't look as neat of a head and shoulders as it does on silver. Bears will be looking for some type of rejection and fail, and then a 15-minute trend change to the downside for a potential top fish against 1836.90, recognizing we're up here against that weekly 50 MA. Oh, thank you, voice, for returning. Stay, please, with me. So oil has we have API estimates at 4:30 Eastern today after hours to be aware of. Your daily resistance is 77.77 and your support 73.40. On the 4-hour, we're pretty sideways. Hourly, again, super choppy. It's like hurry up and wait for the API estimates and inventory. But if I flip over to XLE, it's a little bit stronger this morning. A little bit stronger than most of the other indices I looked at. 84.15 is your key resistance and 84.65. Looking at all of those pieces of data, again, I'm eating this elephant one bite at a time. That's what made me go look at XOM, and I like how XOM is positioned for a potential long. So you see how we arrive at that potential trade idea. Looking at oil on shorter term time frames is pretty healthy. XLE is healthy. So I like an XOM bottom fish against 104.38. Looking for that potential hourly higher low. Let me clean this off. So you see how we have a daily higher low that's set, and we're looking for a potential 4-hour and hourly higher low compared to 104.38. So it made it a Queen of the Mountain trade. If you're new to Queen of the Mountain or you're new to the show, you may not know what that means. That just means the setups that I like more so than others that I have scanned this morning. And as I said, I got all out of order this morning, so I'm just going backwards. But, you know, that's just what we do here. We just go by the seat of our pants and we have fun. So this is who I am. I'm Chart Gal Lori. I'm part of Chart Guys community. We teach technical analysis, and I do this show every morning for about 25 to 30 minutes where I go over indices, commodities, crypto, movers and shakers of the day, and my goal is to get you ready for the trading day. This is our first day to do this on TradingView, so things are a little out of order. I will get more comfortable with the routine as we go along, and I'm glad you're here. Say hi. All right. So back to oil. We were discussing oil. Nat gas is getting slaughtered, absolutely slaughtered. Daily, we have support coming in hot at 5337. A daily higher low was the more likely scenario with the size of this move. Doesn't mean it'll happen. Wow. 4 hour is oversold coming into daily support. 5337 is your next support. This is getting interesting. I may watch Nat gas today for a potential long. But do you see how, Paul, you were asking about confirmation? Sorry, I didn't draw that very well. But do you see that 8 EMA just totally suppressing price? Is there any reason that I should be in a long on this side of the 8 EMA on the 2 minute? No, absolutely not. Almost every morning I'm out of order dynamite. The 8 EMA has been suppressing price. There is zero reason to get long. And that's what I mean by confirmation. You want at least a 2 minute trend change or 5 minute trend change to say, okay, I like this bottom fish, risk to reward, looking for this daily low against 533, because I'll get stopped out quick if I'm wrong. But you can't just jump in here without confirmation. I need bull volume and I need price. To get over that 8 EMA is step one. Give me at least a 2 minute trend change, if not a 5 minute trend change, or you're just getting ran over by bears. Apple, we're looking for a monthly higher low compared to 129.04. 129.04 is such a key area. Let's go set that alert. I'm going to set it for 129.10 to let me know if we approach this key support. If we lose that monthly support, things could accelerate to the downside at a much faster pace than what we have been seeing. And by the way, economic data, we don't have a lot of data coming out today. Housing permits, and it's usually a nothing burger, but in this market, it's a very sensitive market. It could mean something if it's really off, really lower than expected. I think lower is bad. Amazon, I've been watching this monthly inverse cup and handle, and it broke bear. The measured move on this thing is $46 below this. That would make it $55 target on Amazon, and I don't know that that's crazy. I really don't think that that's crazy. Let me show you why. Look at the PE ratio on Amazon, 78.34. Forward PE, 50.76. Do you know what the market PE? The market enjoys the overall S&P PE ratio to be around 19. We are at 4 times that plus. So I don't think $55 is a crazy target. That's not my job here today, is to predict or give you price targets on a potential swing short. I'm just saying, as long as these bears are proving it, don't stand in their way. We could get a super bounce going today. Who knows? Got to get over 85, 87 first. But this chart is one of the weakest of the weak. They are really punishing these high PE names. They're punishing them. In comparison, look at Meta. Look how low Meta's is. That's a steal. Fundamentally, which I do technicals here, but that's a steal. So it's holding in its tight range for now. You're going to want to see it keep holding 114.01. It is a queen of the mountain trade. Let's see. Let me go back. I did Apple, Amazon. Let me go back to Netflix, but I do like Meta long against 114. If we can hold it, we're losing it. Wait, what did I type? Yeah, we've lost a 114. So this was my backup thesis for short. I had written this out in my notes. A bounce top fish candidate due to overall weakness. A break of 114 could really get some downward momentum. So I like a bounce short as long as we're below 114. I would stay of the short mindset. If we're above 114, I would switch to the long mindset. And you rarely hear me give 2 directions on one trade. I am painfully directional. And I think with a trader, as a trader, we should not be teetering. Now, I will do condor spreads when I think we're going to be sideways. That's the only time I'm not painfully directional, but sideways is a direction. So I think it's important that we form our thesis and we don't teeter. Well, if it does this, then I'll be long. If it does this, then I'll be short. And no, I think it's important for our technical analysis skills to arm us with the most likely scenarios and stay with that direction. All right. Netflix. Santa Claus Rally to me is buzzwords that people like to say. It doesn't happen every year. December 2018 was one of the worst trading months I ever had, and the market got decimated. It was crazy. So depending on the Santa rally is just not good technical analysis skills or trade processing. I would forget what month it is, forget what day it is. The only thing you need to remember about this month is volume is lower, so moves can be more extreme. That's the only thing you need to know about seasonality, in my opinion. Netflix getting hit hard on news. For me, bounces are for shorting on Netflix, meaning 2-minute, 5-minute, 15-minute. So let me remind you over here at the top of what I typed in the notes. Now, I normally don't show these notes. I copy and paste these for TCG members only, but I wanted to show TradingView what I do and how I organize myself. So this is reverse back burner day. If you don't know what that is, we have a YouTube video. What is a reverse back burner? Meaning if Netflix bounces to 2-minute overbought, that could be a short, and that's a short I'd feel comfortable with, or a 5-minute overbought. So Netflix is a great name for overbought potential short setups. NVIDIA. NVIDIA is a different chart in that maybe we are looking for a daily higher low compared to 156.67. Even though this has been a pretty sharp pullback, we are holding up better than most. I noticed we were holding the 50 RSI this morning, but this chart is still got so much work to do. And look how they are skillfully keeping the RSI from getting oversold. Not oversold. Not oversold. So you can't go long bottom fishing saying, I'm going to bottom fish against 156.15 because it's so beat up. They're just walking it down. So NVIDIA, I like that daily chart, but these hourly EMAs have been riding price down very comfortably, and I think you have to remain bearish and look for shorts on the 2 and 5 minute overbought conditions. Tesla, thank you, Francisco. Tesla, this bounce could be the death of bulls today, and I don't mean to be so dramatic. I am prone to hyperbole, but it cooled off RSI. We're not oversold on the hourly. We're not oversold on the 4-hour. And we're just now oversold on the daily. But it cooled off RSI. Bears can take this down another level. Look at Tesla PE. It's not great. So, and the Twitter shenanigans or distractions or perceived distractions are not helping the stock. 5-minute, 15-minute, hourly overbought are all going to present potential short opportunities on Tesla. JPM, I mentioned, I like it for a potential long. You see how we're staying away from the QQQ names long because we're looking for that relative strength in other pockets against 129.09, attempting to nail this weekly higher low above these key EMAs. Meta, it is a bounce top fish candidate due to overall weakness. I would look for reverse back burners to short. mRNA, looking for a daily higher low. They had news back here. They've given up a lot of the move due to market weakness and God knows what other factors. But I like a bottom fish of yesterday's low if we can hold it. If not, I was doing these RSI levels earlier real quick. Hourly oversold is around 184.66. I would like probably around 184, a little more, closer to 2-hour oversold because we got 1 hour back here and it didn't prove anything or put in that bottom. So maybe one more push down and we can get that daily higher low. And so ninjas may want to look at this one for positioning for the daily higher low. And then XOM, I like a bottom fish of 104.38. 104.38. PE is price to earnings ratio. It's just basically what is the stock price compared to what the earnings are? And if the stock price is 50 times what earnings have been, then that's a 50 times multiple. So you're saying $1 million business this year, the forward PE ratio, it would, if your earnings are $1 million, you're saying it's worth 50 million. Nobody's would ever pay 50 million for a company only earning $1 million a year. You typically get anywhere from 4 to 10 times multiple if you're lucky. Well, in the stock market, 19 to 20 is like the average. So these high multiples mean that they're terribly overvalued. I'll show you one more. NVIDIA, look how high its PE ratio is. So I think NVIDIA is great. I have an NVIDIA card in this computer. The market is punishing any stock that's overvalued. They are searching for value like heat missiles. Well, I've never used that analogy, but that's what they're doing. They are searching for value like heat missiles. And there is no value in a 50 PE ratio company. And they are just really, really punishing them. So it's sometimes nice to step back and see what's happening to these charts and what these bears are doing on the backs. I like to stay with price action technical analysis 99% of the time. But sometimes you have to step back and say, man, they really are hurting on them. Why? It's because they're overvalued. All right, so XOM I like long. I made it, y'all. I was scared there at the beginning. I wasn't going to make it to the end. Charting Man Dan's going live in a 1 minute. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up due to my throat. I'm not going to do any chart requests, but I really appreciate you being here. If you could hit the like button before you leave, YouTubers and TradingView, do you have a like button that you can hit? I don't know. I'll have to learn all about that. You can give me a follow on Twitter at ChartGallery. I promise I won't spam ya. Check us out at chartguys.com. TCG members, I'll copy these notes over to the room in just a second so you can slice and dice them as you see fit. And if you're interested in my TradingView chart setup, you can click on the link below in the video description to receive a PDF explanation as to how I set up my TradingView chart. All right, thank you so much for being here.